Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I've got a question for you. What happens if you've booked a cruise specifically for certain areas, right? Like for instance, you book an Alaska cruise and then something happens and instead of going to Alaska, you go up the California coast. Kind of different itineraries. Should you be allowed to cancel that cruise if it's such a drastic change in your trip? So recently, a couple has contacted USA Today, and they were talking about Oceana Cruises. They booked a very, they're not a cheap cruise line, they're a luxury cruise line, they're a top shelf cruise line, small, personable service ships, and very high rated. Well, we're talking $20,000, $30,000 cruises here. Now, what's happened is some people booked the itinerary that includes, of course, Egypt and Israel, which are, like I said before, bucket list cruise destinations for many, many people. Well, recently, Oceana has gone forward and started changing all the itineraries, even into 2024. In fact, they've changed over 40 different cruises in 2024 because of what's going on currently in Israel and in the Egypt area, with the travel warnings and stuff like that. Well, this couple booked this cruise, a very expensive cruise, particularly for those destinations. In fact, over half of the destinations on the original cruise have been changed to other itineraries. Instead of going to places like Israel and Egypt, they're now going to Italy and Greece, which are completely different itineraries, much like Alaska and then going to California. They're completely different. Now, they contacted Oceana Cruise Lines and requested, this is not what we booked. We didn't book this. Can we get a refund or at least future cruise credits? And at first they were told you could possibly get future cruise credits if you rebooked the cruise by November 30th. But when they contacted them 2 days later after finding a cruise that they would maybe change to, they were told that that offer has been rescinded by Oceana Cruises, and they would no longer be offering future cruise credits or no penalty changes for this particular sailing. Now, when your final payments are due on Oceana Cruises, normally you hit the 100% penalty marker if you are 60 days away from your cruise. Well, they were notified about all these changes 40 days before the cruise, which is well past that final payment date. And here's the question, in that case, like if they would have been 80 days or 90 days or 120 days or booked in 2024, they could have changed their cruise or canceled their cruise and not lost the entire thing. They might have lost their deposit, but not the entire thing, which is, like I said, $20,000 to $30,000. So imagine now you're kind of forced to go on a cruise that you didn't want to book, that you didn't want to go on, and you spent extra money to do this itinerary on a luxury ship. Greece, you can go on the mass market ships, right? You can go on the Princess Norwegian, Royal Caribbean. Everybody has ships in the Mediterranean for much cheaper than you could go with an Oceana luxury ship. Well, when they were contacted, USA Today tried to contact Oceana Cruises, didn't really get a response, but the passengers who put in got an email. And let me read you what the email said when they were saying, hey, this isn't what we booked. You notified us only 40 days before the cruise. There's a global watch warning for American citizens in the region. We want to get future cruise credits or we want our money back. And they sent them an email saying, and let me read it to you, quote here, "As all of our itinerary changes were carefully evaluated with the guest experience in mind, the revised voyages feature culinary rich and historically significant ports across Italy, Greece, and Turkey, full of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, unique culinary experiences, and cultural treasures." Yes, but it's not the countries I wanted to go to. It's not the countries or the cruise I booked, right? It's like just, okay guys, I'm gonna book a cruise and the cruise line is now gonna tell me where we're going. As opposed to I'm booking the destination I want to go to. And it brings up a really good point. Like, no, the cruise line here is doing nothing wrong legally. In their contract, they have it specifically said that itineraries can change and it could be beyond their control. And yes, a war is completely beyond their control. Storms are completely beyond their control, you know what I mean? So itineraries change. But when an itinerary changes so drastically and it's changing for months and months in the future, you think they would have offered the people who had already booked some kind of reprise. Because if you're before final payment date, you don't get that penalty. You can cancel. But now that even though what's changed the ports, the reason for changing happened recently, should there not be some kind of compensation for those guests who probably may have been to Greece and Italy numerous times, right? It's a very popular destination, but it's not Israel and it's not Egypt. And the cultural experience of Greece is definitely not the same as the cultural experience in Israel. So to say that you chose really good destination really isn't the point. The point here is that these guests book a specific itinerary which has been drastically changed. Not just, oh, we're going to miss this one port and then we're going to miss this one other port. No, over half the ports have changed to a completely different itinerary. And it makes me think that maybe the cruise lines in this case should have made some exemptions. If not a full refund, at least offer them to switch their cruise. They would have had to sail with some less than full ships, but they probably wouldn't lose these people as permanent clients, because after this experience, clients who have paid $20,000 to $30,000 for your cruise probably aren't going to return when this happens, because now they're being forced to go on a cruise they didn't want to go on because they don't want to lose all their money. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think they should have been offered some compensation in this particular case because of the short notice? At least given, okay, if you want to change your, here's an email. If you want to change your cruise, you have 2 weeks to do it, right? Or till the end of the month to do it. There was nothing offered there. And especially when they said you could do it and then they rescinded the offer. Again, USA Today had reached out to them for comment and really haven't gotten anything back. I'll let you know if we hear anything. But yeah, so far, I know they have the exact right to do it, but I don't think they should have. I think they should have had to work something out with those passengers not wanting to go on this completely changed itinerary. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.